Hey everyone, if you want to make your own podcast but you don't know where to begin, Spotify for Podcasters makes it super easy. They've got everything in one place, it's totally free, and you can make money while doing it. Here's how it works. Spotify for Podcasters lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start doing it today. Then you can distribute your podcast to Spotify and pretty much everywhere else podcasts are heard. Video podcasts are also supported, and you can even conduct polls and Q&As. With Spotify for Podcasters, you can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, the platform is totally free. No catch, totally free. When I wanted to start my own podcast, I did not know where to begin, and I didn't think it was even possible. And Spotify for Podcasters made it happen. They made it easy, they made it quick, and I am doing something that I love. What more can I ask for? So if you're interested in starting your own show, you can do it, and I highly recommend you give this a try. Download the Spotify for Podcasters app or go to www.spotify.com/podcasters to get started. Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of Everything Kratom, the podcast about anything and everything Kratom. Great to have you with us on this Friday morning. We made it through yet another week. So congratulations to you and congratulations to me. So today, before we get into the episode, I just wanted to remind you all of some ways that you can help support this podcast. You know, like I'm not getting paid to do this. I don't even think that there's a way to donate to this podcast at the moment. But if you want to support me, I've set up a number of ways that are, I think, somewhat creative so that you can support me without even spending money. So I hope that you'll at least consider taking one of these routes to support this podcast, and it won't end up costing you a dime. So here are some ways. All of these links, by the way, that I mentioned are in the description of these podcast episodes. So first, here's an easy one. Subscribe to the new YouTube channel that I created. I am slowly but steadily putting all these episodes on YouTube, and you can actually watch a number of these conversations that I have with individuals on this show. You can actually see the Zoom video, so you can actually see the person that I'm talking to, and me, if you're unfortunate enough to want to see my ugly face, but you can do that too. So if you just subscribe to the YouTube channel, it gets me closer to one day being at that point where I can start making a little bit of money by putting videos on YouTube. So that's a neat way. Just started the channel, but you know, if you feel like it doesn't take any time out of your day to just click on subscribe. So please do that if you want and if you can. Then the next way, I've put a link in the podcast descriptions for Robinhood, and if you use that link and sign up for Robinhood, I'll get a free stock, you'll get a free stock. And it's pretty easy way of, you know, getting me a, you know, very small, modest donation without you spending any money. And you're opening up your own, you know, way of investing, but you don't have to put any minimum amount of money in. So that's pretty neat. I've also done that with Acorns investing as well. And that, once you sign up for Acorns, I will get $5 free. You'll get $5 free. So that's another neat way. Then I've put a link in the description for CryptoTab. That is a browser that you can surf the internet and it mines Bitcoin in the background for you. End of story. So that's a really cool way. And the reason why that supports me is because if you use the link that I put in there, it knows that I referred you, and it will boost the computing power that I'll be mining Bitcoin with, and it just automatically boosts the amount that I'm able to get while I'm using the browser. So that's a really easy way that you can support this channel while also mining Bitcoin in the background while you're searching the web. It's a slow but steady process, and over time it can build up. And then the final way, which is the easiest and which you guys are already doing, is just listening to the episodes. Every time that you listen to the episode, I don't even think you have to listen to the full Anchor advertisement that I do at the beginning of each episode. Even if you skip through that, I believe that I do get like a cent or two or something like that from people just simply listening to the episodes. And so that's a really neat way that Anchor incentivizes people to start their podcasts with them. And so far it's been really helpful. And it's all just, you know, I'm not doing this podcast to make money. I'm doing it just for the Kratom community, and I'm enjoying it so much. But really, if there's a way to think about it, I'm just trying to pay off the microphone I got to start the podcast. Simple as that. Pretty modest goal. But even if I don't get a cent out of it, I really enjoy doing this, and I enjoy having these conversations with you all and having you listen. And I hope that you're enjoying the podcast. So thanks so much for listening, and thanks for, being patient while I just let you know about a few ways that you can help support this podcast. So thanks so much. And regardless, I don't care if I make money or not, on with the show. So in that spirit, and with that in mind, let's get into it. So today, to round out the week, I thought that I would just talk a little bit about blends, because our conversation yesterday with Muhammad got me thinking about blends again. And I really enjoy blends, but it's not something that I was always open to. When I first started taking Kratom, and pretty soon after I started taking it, I discovered my favorite one. One of my favorites was a blend of white Thai and green Thai, but I didn't know it was a blend at the time. So when I started taking Kratom, I thought, and I read places online that said that Kratom, when you blend different types together, does not act as, well. It's not as beneficial. The effects get muddled. You can't really tell what's doing what, and it's not a good idea to blend them. I did read a lot about people saying it's okay if you stagger them. It's okay if you take one, wash it down, then take the other one right away. But if you blend them together and then take them at the same time, the effects get muddled and stuff. So I was actually put off of the idea of blending Kratom when I first started taking it. But then one day I was looking at this type of Kratom that I get all the time, which is this green-white Thai blend. And I thought this whole time that it was like white Thai, but it turns out that it was a blend. And I was like, wow, this is like my favorite one, or one of my favorite ones. How can it be a blend? So it just kind of shattered my, thoughts about blends of Kratom, with not that I had any, personal experience with it other than that one. And I wasn't aware at the time. So after that, I started being a little more experimental with blends. Recently, I have blended a few different things together, and I wanted to share a couple of good blends that I've created. So the first one was white hulu and green mangda. I loved this blend. It was so great. It got me that wonderful, nice first time warm hug that Christopher from Happy Hippo was talking about when he was talking about how there are certain ones that you can get this really nice first time Kratom hug, even if it's not your first time taking Kratom, and those are just really nice and special. So I get this first time Kratom hug from the white hulu green mangda mix. I find that the green mangda makes the effects last forever, but at the same time, the white hulu gives me that boost right in the beginning that green mangda doesn't. And I think that the blend works great. It definitely blends the effects together a little bit more. So I'm not quite as aware of oh, the white is acting on me right now. Now the green is building. It's more of a smooth experience, which is what I'm going for. So I definitely would say that that's a great blend that I've tried recently. Another great blend that I've had recently was white Thai and red Thai. This was an interesting one because I don't usually go on either side of the spectrum with red down and white up, at the same time. But taking red Thai is probably one of the more euphoric types of Kratom for me. If I was going to do anything, recreationally, I think that would be the one that I do recreationally, along with a couple other whites. But that one is the most euphoric, I think, that I try. So taking that with a white Thai, which is very energetic and works very well for me and is effective, is a great blend. I find that I have a great deal of energy, but at the same time, I still get the somewhat of a euphoric feel from the red Thai Kratom. And, I don't really take Kratom for euphoria that much, if ever, but I think that it's a perk and it's definitely good to recognize it. So I definitely like the red Thai euphoria. Also the extreme calm, serene feeling that I get from it, but also having the energy where I can it's just a great balance to be able to either melt into, mush in your bed, but knowing that you can just stand up and run a mile if you need to. It's such a unique feeling. So that's definitely one that I am gonna, go back to now and then. let's see, what else? Oh, I really enjoy taking a white Mang Da and a green Mang Da. That is another great combination. I feel like in a way they don't really conflict because they're of the same family, if you know what I mean. And it's another smooth experience. It's got a nice smooth building, and it's very energetic. It's probably one of the most energetic blends that I could ever think of, actually. So definitely not for if you're trying to like chill out, obviously. And then the other one that I wanted to talk about was the white Borneo green Mang Da. It seems like the common denominator here, the elephant in the room, so to speak, is green Mang Da. It seems like that one is just, the friend of everybody. And it's interesting because I didn't really even think about that fact until I'm saying it out loud today. So this podcast is helping me understand, the way that I think of Kratom and the way that I use it. Just by saying things out loud, you can start recognizing things that you've been thinking, So I just think that that's so neat. But anyway, green Mang Da seems to be the friend of all, and I definitely have been using it as such. It's a great blend with white Borneo. I also like staggering those two. So if you ever want to take like a green Mang Da, wait, 20 minutes, take white Borneo, I think that that's a great combination, just like the green Mang Da white Thai staggered approach that I did at the start of the week. So both of those great blends, but also good to stagger. And then the final one that I'll mention is going to be blending white horn with white Indo. As most of you know, white Indo is my favorite, or one of my favorites, and white horn, I've talked about a number of times how on its own I don't really like it that much. It doesn't do it for me, but in combination with others, it can be a great supplement. And, but I haven't really talked about blending it. And so I tried blending white horn and white Indo yesterday after I had my conversation with Mohammed. So I went a bit of a different way than I had said that I was going to go while we were on our call together. And I don't know what prompted me to do it, but I just kind of had this feeling that I wanted to try something different and new. And so I blended white horn and white Indo together, I'd say equal parts of each. And I think that I did about a gram and a half of each, or maybe almost 2 grams of each. Not quite. I'll say 1.5 grams just for the heck of it, but something like that. And it was just a great combination because I got the immediate boost of energy and motivation from the white Indo that I always get and I look forward to. But the white horn just, it made the experience the smoothest I think I've ever had any Kratom experience when it comes to like smooth energy. And that's saying something because I've had a lot of smooth energy experiences this past month, and specifically talking about like green Mang Da and, white Thai or white Indo or any number of these combinations. Just a lot of them have green Mang Da in them. But this was really like incredible. I think that these two are perhaps my favorite blends. White Borneo it's just the perfect cherry on top for the white Indo. I guess that's the way to put it for me. And it's a seamless, beautiful blend. I get a huge amount of energy, and the white horn makes it very smooth, light feeling. It doesn't feel too heavy. Sometimes I can take too much white Indo, almost to the point where it feels like, okay, now I'm getting tired, or now it's a lot of energy and I'm just not quite comfortable. It doesn't happen often, but once in a while it can. But with this blend, I don't think that would ever happen. Like, it just feels like this skeleton key that can open up the door, no matter where I'm headed with white Indo, and that it makes the energy smooth, it makes the motivation targeted, and it makes the overall experience not heavy. And I think that those things are all really important when you're trying to have like a strong white stimulant type of experience with Kratom. So those are the blends that I've been thinking about recently and have been on top of mind, or that I tried yesterday. And I hope that you find these interesting, and let me know what sorts of blends you've been trying recently, and if you've had any luck with some, or if you think some others should be avoided. And I'd be happy to share that information with everyone. So here we are, wrapping up the week. I hope everyone has had a good week. Finish off strong today, and have a great weekend. We'll be back Monday, as always. Thanks for listening, everybody. Take care and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.